Let me ask you, first of all, here about how voluble, how eager to talk the Secretary of State was. He's somebody who's had an uneasy relationship, not a natural inclination to talk to the press. What's it like to interview the Secretary of State?
Well, he definitely seemed more relaxed than I had experienced in the past. I mean, when he was just starting, he had several sort of extremely awkward interactions with the press where he wouldn't take questions. He would sort of walk into a room with the media and very quickly read a statement and then sort of scuttle out of the room without really interacting. He's much more relaxed now, much more confident. And so, I mean, what's happening here, we've been pushing for this interview for a long time, but it also comes as the department is putting him out there more. He's spoken with several news organizations in the last few weeks, a couple of brutal long magazine profiles about him. But generally, they're trying to sort of increase his profile, not to compete with the president, but to just sort of get his message out there and have him sort of hammer home that he is, in fact, aligned with President Trump. And there isn't a lot of daylight between the two of them.
And Nick, of course, this coming as he heads to the Middle East. He'll have stops in Saudi Arabia, Qatar. We know that the Qatar isolation has been going on, since June, since the beginning of June. Did he give any hints as to when we could see a resolution there?
Well, he basically said he's pretty pessimistic that there's going to be a resolution anytime soon. So that was really a contradiction of what he had said on a tour of the region in July, where he said he was hopeful there could be progress made. And he made clear that really it's Qatar that has been doing the engagement. It's ready to engage, and it's now the responsibility of those other four countries. I mean, what you need to do is also sort of see this in the context of his push to have a bit more media exposure. He's a bit tougher now. He's sort of delivering more stern messages. I mean, it was President Trump himself who said he thought his Secretary of State should be a little bit tougher. So Tillerson seems to be sort of rising to that challenge.
Nick, you mentioned those magazine profiles, the one by Dexter Filkins. Allie Donaldson, a producer here for us, flagging a line from it that I didn't remember, that being that he says, "I'm not a diplomat," at one point during the course of that interview. He's talking about Iran and the work that has yet to be done on the Iran deal and the relationship with Iran. How large is Iran going to loom for the Secretary of State as he goes to the region?
I mean, Iran is constantly in the background, particularly with Qatar, because Qatar has, to sort of the disappointment of the U.S. as part of this blockade, has been sort of strengthening its bonds with Iran. So anything he does in the region, obviously, will have Iran in the background. I mean, Saudi Arabia, a really strong opponent, to put it mildly, of Iran. He'll be speaking with the foreign minister there. That will no doubt come up. I mean, Saudi Arabia has supported the U.S. push to toughen the nuclear agreement, the 2015 deal, curtailing Iran's nuclear program. It will certainly be a big issue when he's in the region.